Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Rome Remastered historical battle walkthrough. In today's episode we are playing the 5th historical battle, the Battle of Lake Trasimene. We are playing as Flaminius. We have been sent to chase down and defeat Hannibal Barca. But Hannibal has led us into an ambush. We are being pushed into the lake. We must fight back and show Roman courage. Though our army is quite big, the enemy has a sizable force as well. May the gods save us this day.
Rome is not the only power rising along the shores of the Mediterranean. Another people, the Carthaginians, have imperial ambitions. Their empire is growing in Spain even as the Romans secure the Italian peninsula. For Rome, Caius Flaminius has been sent north to deal with the Carthaginian problem. And it is a problem. Hannibal Barca, the greatest Carthaginian general ever, is on the march.
Units, back!
He swore an oath to his dying father that he would never give the Romans a moment's peace. Hannibal has already kept his oath at Trebia. After that victory, he forced the Romans back onto the defensive. Now, with his army at Lake Trasimene, Hannibal plans to lure another Roman army into a brutal ambush. He has every reason to hope the Romans will cooperate in their own deaths. The Romans quickly move to meet the obvious threat from Hannibal's men. Unaware of the danger, Flaminius orders his leading units to attack. Hannibal springs his trap. His waiting troops are ordered to attack the unprepared Romans. The Carthaginian plan is to sweep down on the Roman flank and drive their enemies into the icy waters of Lake Trasimene. Only courage and Roman discipline will save the Roman army. The legionaries must turn and face the oncoming Carthaginians and keep themselves from being surrounded.
Let us show Hannibal the strength of the Roman army, even in an ambush. So in this battle, there isn't any specific strategy that I follow to win this battle. All you have to do is just send your units to surround the enemy units and try to flank them, kill their general, and divide and conquer. What I like to do is to first select all my units that aren't routing and then group them together. This is because the units that are routing at the start of the battle do not come back at the end, or at all throughout the battle. So it'd be just a waste of space to have them in the unit bar and right next to units that I will be using in this battle. So we have to keep our general away from the main action. I like moving him to the right flank. Our cavalry unit, I try to move also to the right flank, and then I use it to hit the enemy Carthaginians in the back. The infantry forces that we have here, their purpose is just to, on the right flank, it's just to hold the enemy in position while the cavalry tries to flank them, And in the center and left flank, the purpose is just to protect the general, prevent Carthaginians from reinforcing the right flank, but also trying to take out their skirmishers and any other infantry soldiers that approach. I like to send about 2 to 3 units to the right flank and then the rest of them to the center and left. This is because Hannibal has brought a sizable force to surround us with. The first thing I do during the battle is I just organize my soldiers in this half rectangle formation so that I can see where the enemy approaches from, and then I can send my soldiers to attack and counter there. But what I like to do always at the very start is to have at least one unit going after the enemy like cavalry on the left flank. This is because they like to go around behind us and take out our general, so we have to be very careful of that. So as we see more and more Carthaginians showing up, we're just going to send soldiers where we think it will do the best. I like to have my skirmishers shooting into the right flank where the majority of the enemy forces are located. I'm going to use my cavalry right now on the right flank to try and take out the enemy skirmishers, because they will be a nuisance unless we deal with them quickly. Even though I want to keep my general as safe as possible, I will engage him from time to time in the combat for some extra support, because hitting the enemy in the back is always, well, nearly always a good idea. If you have a few extra men that you aren't too worried about, then it's a good idea to send them in. Right now what I'm doing is just constantly seeing which part of the front line needs reinforcing and where more soldiers are needed. Whenever a unit of the Carthaginians starts retreating or routing, I just send my infantry to stop chasing them and go around. Now I see the enemy cavalry chasing down my skirmishers. I'm not too concerned about this because the skirmishers, although they are helpful in this battle and make some difference, I don't consider them vital to victory. As you see, I am focusing my attention on taking down the enemy general.
Be praised! The enemy general is dead!
Speak of the devil. There we go, the enemy general has fallen. This is great. The enemy morale will now suffer. This means we will be able to flank the enemy and do much more damage because they'll be more frightened and less inspired to continue. Most of the enemy forces are routing by now, so I'm just going to turn them around to help protect our own general. Because the enemy cavalry unit that was taking out our skirmishers is trying to flank us and take out our own general. I see that some of the enemy units are coming back, but we've dealt such a blow to the enemy forces that even if they do come back, they're going to be in small amounts and not anything too serious. Usually just the skirmishers returning. I think I better send reinforcements to help with this. Oh good, I sent Triorii. Triorii are very effective at taking out enemy cavalry because of their long spears and big shields. And there we go, that unit of pikemen, spearmen is routing, so we will be careful to continue chasing down some units to further weaken their morale, but now all this is just chasing down who remains. So in this particular battle, there isn't any specific strategy to follow, in my opinion. All you have to do is try to form a front line, send units to fight on the right flank where the enemy army is right away at. They don't have to run down the hill, they're right away there. So you want to send a few units there to engage them to slow them down.
The enemy army is in flight. Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield.
And then what you want to do is just to have a few men to go to the center to block up any of the soldiers going to try and reinforce the right flank. And on the left flank, you always send a few soldiers, maybe 1 or 2 units, to take out or distract the enemy cavalry so they don't go after your general. In this case, that didn't really work out because we were constantly moving our troops to the center, so they didn't focus on the enemy cavalry, which allowed them to chase after our skirmishers. But as you see, we still won the battle, and although, like I said earlier, the skirmishers are helpful in the battle, they do some good damage, they aren't necessary or vital to success.
Rome demands victory from her generals.
We lost a few men.
And this day is clearly
Almost
our
half of
victory.
our soldiers have fallen. But considering that this in history was a massacre, that we managed to stop Hannibal, not only stop him from massacring a Roman army and proceeding towards Rome, but we have also killed Hannibal himself. It is quite the achievement. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you watching the next episode. I hope this was helpful for you to beat this historical battle on your own. Thank you for watching.